Good morning. Welcome back to the Broadcast Retirement Network. This is BRN AM for Wednesday, May 8th, 2024. And our top story today, the evolution of participant engagement. Joining me now to discuss this and a lot more, Alicia, Hartjen, and Danielle Villar of SS&C Technologies. Alicia, so great to see you again. And Danielle, great to have you on the program this morning.
Thank you. Happy
Thanks
to be
for having us.
Yeah, it's great to have you both. Alicia, I want to start with you because this morning we're talking about the participant journey and engagement. And I want to start with a level setting question. How has that changed? Where have you and the SS&C team seen the greatest change in terms of how we engage participants in a retirement plan or in any program?
Yeah, and I think it comes down to data. There's just so much more data that's available now that can be used to measure that engagement. And one of the things that we really focus on is that participant journey. So how do we keep participants clicking? How do we keep them learning? How do we keep them engaged on the site? And one of those ways is through gamification. And our solution allows for an overall financial wellness quiz, as well as the ability to earn points and the ability to challenge someone when they're viewing content to answer a question. And when we measure the effect of that gamification, we see that all of the metrics that we look at around participant engagement more than double when gamification is included. So we see they spend more time overall in the financial wellness solution. They spend more time on content. They're returning more frequently to the site. So that's all great and measurable. And then taking that even another level, when the client offers incentives, we see metrics go sky high. We'll see that where normally for gamification, we may see 10% of participants answering a quiz. When an incentive is offered, those numbers can go over 80% of participants taking those quizzes. And the incentive doesn't even need to be that meaningful. It might be a small gift card, or it might just tie into an overall program. But those are all just very measurable ways to see how we're driving engagement.
Hey, look, if you offer me a car, I definitely would be, as an incentive, I would be on your site all the time. I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, I mean, it's certainly, if someone could afford to do that, it'd be great. Danielle, I want to come to you, but let's talk about the evolution of content, because I think Alicia makes some really good points in terms of getting people involved, getting people engaged, but it takes great content to get people, get their attention in today's, we are just deluged with content. So how has content evolved when it comes to participant education?
Yeah, so we've kind of all heard that financial wellness is not one size fits all. That's really not a new groundbreaking idea. But at SS&C, we really have to start with the goal in mind, and that really is to create content that resonates with individuals and motivates them to learn. That's what we want. That's what our clients want. But like you said, yeah, today in a digital landscape, that's extremely challenging. We have fleeting attention spans. The competition right now is fierce. And let's be honest, when it comes to financial wellness, it's really not really high on participants' to-do lists either. So how do we combat that, right? So we provide relevant content to drive engagement because it demonstrates an understanding of the audience interests, needs, and pain points, right? So when content resonates with users addressing their specific challenges or interests, it's going to capture their attention and foster kind of that sense of connection. And couple that with what Alicia said about gamification. You're now building and attracting users to come back for more, which then increases the loyalty to the site, increases their education over time, which is, in turn our goal. So, we tailor content to match the preferences and concerns of the audience. So if someone is 20 years old and just coming out of college, we're making sure that we've got content that resonates with them. If someone is 60 and looking to retirement and have really no idea where to start, we've got content that's relevant to them. We also stay on top of what's going on in the industry right now. So we're making sure that we've got content on Secure Act 2.0, for example. Always changing and making sure ultimately that we're contributing to the success of higher education.
Yeah, and Alicia, last question before we go to a commercial break, and I promise we'll pick things up after the commercial. I think Danielle and both of you hit on this, and it's that personalization. And that's a topic that I think in our industry we've heard a lot of over the years. Let's talk about the personalization and the evolution there in terms of engagement and why that is important, Alicia.
Yeah, and it's something that certainly has continued to evolve. And now we're seeing a lot greater ability to take large data sets, normalize it, and really individualize the experience. So the ways that we think about that is we have multiple engines that leverage ways to personalize to the individual. The most impactful is from an outcomes perspective is our call to action engine. So what we're doing there is we're looking at the profile data about the participant. We're also looking at their behavior on the site as well as what they're looking at right then to say what call to action is going to be most meaningful to drive them to improve on their outcomes. And we see a lot of success with those. So when those calls to action reside on specific content pages and they're directly relevant to the topic that the individual is looking at, we're seeing click-through rates of 30 to 50%. We can look at different metrics on where those are placed and see where we get more success. We can vary the creative. And again, those are a way for us to say, we know that small behavior changes can have a big impact over time. So these calls to action are a way for us to say, take that next step to based on what you've learned to really improve on where you are now.
Yeah, it's just for the audience, it's iterative. You're never going to hit the ball. I guess in some cases you can win the lottery, but you're never going to hit the ball out of the park. It's singles, doubles, based on balls. It's just getting on base and moving across the diamond, to use a baseball analogy. Alicia, Danielle, I need to take a very quick break. When we come back, we'll talk more about generating participant engagement, personalization, and content. You're going to want to stay tuned right here, BRN AM. Imagine a new television network that will make you richer, healthier, and in control of your financial future. This network is for the policewoman in Nashville, Tennessee, the baker in Dubuque, Iowa, the teacher in Lexington, Kentucky. We want to make the idea of savings and retirement culturally relevant. But what do you see as a defining issue of the midterms? Especially for the smaller businesses. I mean, they are the lifeblood of the American economy. Featuring exclusive interviews, current affairs, and docuseries. 33 years old, you retired early.
The philosophy is money only matters if it helps you live a life that you love.
But you got to start thinking about retirement as soon as you get in.
The Broadcast Retirement Network will drive very high engagement with premium partnerships. So this isn't retirement and savings for your parents or grandparents. This is for all Americans. And we're going to change the way you think about money. Welcome to the next frontier of retirement and savings. This is BRN, the Broadcast Retirement Network. Alicia, Danielle, thank you so much for staying with us. Really appreciate you hanging around for segment number 2 this morning.
Thank you.
Of course.
Yeah, and Danielle, look, I mean, it is, as we've talked about, I think there's a fierce competition for eyeballs, streaming services, the traditional terrestrial radio and TV, websites. Let's talk about the variety and the types of content that you're having great success with today. So is it about the volume of content, or is it about changing the type of content every interaction?
I think it's both, right? So it's essential to offer a variety of content types that cater to diverse learning preferences and really helps to engage users effectively. I think not everyone learns best through reading an article. Some people prefer visual content like videos or infographics. Some others benefit from interactive tools like calculators and quizzes. And so we make sure that we offer a variety of modalities for folks to be able to learn in the way that best suits them. So by providing a range of content formats, we can accommodate different learning styles, making the learning experience more inclusive and accessible. And so additionally, when you provide a variety of content types, you're enhancing retention and comprehension as well. So by reinforcing, key concepts through multiple channels, you are ensuring a deeper understanding of engagement with the material. So our site, and Alicia probably will get into this a little bit more, but our site will kind of recommend another article or another video for you to review, additionally that learning concept. So we're really trying to get them to not just come in, read one article and get out. We're making sure that they are getting a deep comprehension of the topic.
And
And I think,
oh,
oh,
go
sorry.
ahead, Danielle.
Go ahead.
I'm so sorry. I interrupted you. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
No, I was just going to touch on the variety of topics as well, because I think you had asked that as well. So I think, providing a variety of topics is also very important, making sure that we're keeping users engaged because it prevents that monotony of coming in and seeing the same thing over and over. What we do is we offer a diverse content topic set. So we'll actually kind of work in a consultative manner with the client. We'll say, what topics are you interested in? What do you think that your target demographic would like to see? And then we'll provide a content set that works for them.
Yeah. I apologize for interrupting you, Danielle. I'm just very excited anytime I hear about engagement and participants. Alicia, I want to pivot back to you because I want to ask you about the Personalized Financial Wellness Center, and I also want to ask you personally: do you feel more of an educator rather than a technology provider? How do you think about yourself personally? But let's start with the Personalized Financial Wellness Center.
Yeah, so the Personalized Financial Wellness Center is really leverages behavioral finance as a way to help encourage individuals to make small behavior changes, address their financial wellness challenges, and ultimately improve on their outcomes. And I think there's certainly an education aspect to it. I think of myself more on the user experience side of the spectrum, where I love to see, can we get people to spend time addressing their financial wellness challenges instead of watching the latest, greatest show that is out there now? And that, I think, is the fun part of technology. It's the fun part of user interface design, to encourage people to spend time on things that are not necessarily where we all want to spend a lot of time, and to see success there, it's that much more meaningful. So the wellness solution is really centered on that. It's helping individuals with whatever their life stage challenges are, to Danielle's point about a range of topics, a range of content, and then being able to measure that improvement.
Yeah. Danielle, I want to come back to you, and I want to ask you, you talked about the different topics that are available. You didn't give us all the topics, but that there are different topics. And let's talk about the journey. So much of life is a journey. I don't want to get all mystical here, but life is a journey, and we all go through different stages of life at different times. So that's that personalization piece. But in terms of the journey, how important is it to express content as part of an overall journey?
Yeah, it's extremely important because we don't want a 60-year-old coming into the site and seeing something about potentially, just starting off, maybe just learning about a budget, for example, right? So what we try and do is address the various stages of that customer journey. We offer the individual the ability to create a profile so they can self-identify in a way that they feel that they are. Maybe they're a learner, maybe they're a worrier. We also ask them to complete a demographic profile. So our engine will then create relevant content for them based on where they are within that journey. That variety of topics, really helps to prove that we are knowledgeable in our field and helps them to begin to increase, learning and enriching their user experience.
Yeah, it certainly plays into that financial wellness, but also financial literacy piece that has become all the rage inside and around our industry. Alicia, I want to close out talking about the marketing rule of 7. And there's so many people that watch, that you are partners with, that are marketers, that watch this program and watch other programs. What's the marketing rule of 7, and how has it changed? Has it not changed during this explosion of new, fresh content?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Right. So the expression's been around for a while, and the marketing rule of seven basically says that you need to hear, and I'm going to do air quotes because it's hear, see, whatever method you're receiving that. But you need to hear it 7 times before you take action. And that applies to all of us in our daily lives. And I think we really take that to heart with financial wellness in the sense that you need to reinforce the message for participants so that they're continually seeing the same message consistency. And also, so it's done through the site, it's done through content, it's done through calls to action, but also email campaigns. We've seen a lot of success using email as a way to outreach personalized emails to a small segment of participants that encourage them on a specific message that's consistent with what they're learning in their financial wellness journey. And for those, we see an over 60% open rate on those types of emails that drive participants back in to engage. So again, it gets all back to that behavioral finance aspect to wellness, where it's just reinforcing, encouraging small behavior changes, making the participant experience effortless, having an encouraging tone, and just presenting options and ways for participants to improve.
And as the old adage goes, you can build the best retirement plan in the world. If people aren't using it correctly, well, then has it gone to waste? Danielle, Alicia, so great to see you. Thanks so much for joining us, and we look forward to having you back on the program again very soon.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And that wraps up this episode of BRNAM. Have a topic of interest, someone you think we should talk to? Then drop us a line. And don't forget, for all the latest curated news in lifestyle, wellness, finance, tech, so much more all in one place, check out today's edition of our daily newsletter, The Morning Pulse. Want to search our archives, check out our latest content? Visit our website. Hey, we're back again tomorrow with another edition of BRNAM. We'll have a very special guest and another important topic. Until then, I'm Jeff Snyder. Stay safe. Keep on saving. Don't forget, roll with the changes. Now is your opportunity to co-create content around any topic on the first lifestyle and wellness network. Reach a global audience through our platform and co-own exclusive branded content. All of our programs are available on demand and also as audio-only podcasts, so you can take us on the go. Broadcast Retirement Network, available anytime, anywhere, and on any device.